three-time United States pairs champion. Twice she was a bronze medalist in the world in the pairs. I'm talking about, of course, JoJo Starbuck. JoJo, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Phil, and happy holidays to everyone at home.
You know, I can think of one Christmas ornament these American men would love to haul back to the United States, JoJo, namely the gold medal.
That's right, Phil, and it is the American men that we're really going to focus on today. First of all, Christopher Bowman. Last year in the U.S. Nationals, Christopher was second to Brian Boitano. But then he went to the World Championships in Cincinnati, skated a standing ovation performance.
You know, Christopher Bowman is more of the swashbuckling, as you said, the charismatic type of guy, while his chief competitor in this competition, another American, Paul Wylie, is perhaps a little more introspective, a little more methodical in his approach.
Well, you know, they can all do every element in their long program. Just to get here, they have to be in tremendous physical shape. However, it's the person who can put it all together under pressure, and that takes great mental concentration and focus.
With Calgary just around the corner, this will be the last time many of these skaters will have to practice their Olympic routines before a live international audience. The men's singles from Kushiro, Japan, are next. For this short program in the men's singles, it is Paul Wylie, Makoto Kono, and America's Christopher Bowman. El Horatory Ice Rink has been sold out for the better part of 3, possibly 4 weeks. Not a seat to be had. And this is Switzerland's Oliver Hohner. He is 10th in the competition coming into the free skating segment. And he begins his routine dancing to the very popular Dire Straits version of Love Over Gold.
And he opens with a nice, strong double axel jump. Fabulous innovative footwork. You know, I noticed amongst his hobbies are ballet and modern dance, and often you'll see a great reflection of that in the freestyle program. Terrific triple Salchow jump. Knows he has his work cut out for him here, because in this competition are some of the best men jumpers in the world.
Switzerland home, and he is certainly, JoJo, no stranger to the international circuit, having competed in his 3rd Worlds this year.
And that was a gorgeous triple toe loop, double toe loop combination. More than ever before, there's such an increasing pressure on the single skaters to pull off so many triple jumps in their routine.
In your estimation, JoJo, has the increase in the importance of the triple jumps been positive or a negative influence on skating?
Well, I think both, Phil. It's really pushed the limits of skaters all over the world, and I've been shocked to see what some people have actually achieved. However, it's taken away a focus on beautiful skating and wonderful creativity. another triple toe. And there's a little vet dance training coming into action. Daniel Honer of Switzerland trying to heat up this very cold arena in Kushiro, Japan.
Boy, you said it. It's 20 degrees outside, and in here it is not much warmer.
And you know, I have to say that that's really got to affect the performances of the skaters. When your muscles are so cold, you can warm up a lot in the backstage area, but once you get out here and that cold air hits your legs, it really tightens you up. And he really missed a jump there. I think it works your stamina a lot more, too, when the air is that cold.
From Zurich, Switzerland, 21-year-old Oliver Hunter. And you want to talk total domination? Oliver has been Switzerland's national champion since 1979.
And there he is with that triple toe loop. And follows it up with some choreographic interpretation.
Oliver awaits his scores. The first marks you will see are for technical merit or the degree of difficulty. There appears to be some problem with the computerized scoring here in Kushiro, and here they come. Almost wall-to-wall 4.9s.
Well, I think technically that reflects the fact that he only had one triple jump combination in this number and two other additional triple jumps. And really, the judges are scoring up those triples, and there's a lot we're going to see for the rest of the day.
I wonder also, Jojo, about his selections of music as they related to his actual performance.
Well, I don't think it helped him. I think artistically we should see that in the next set of marks, which were a little higher, 5.0 straight across the board. I don't think the coordination artistically of the way the number was put together really helped him.
The men's singles will return with the Revlon NHK Figure Skating Championship in a moment. Represented the United States, now representing Taiwan. I wonder, perhaps a case of split loyalties?
I feel most comfortable in the U.S. since I grew up there most of my childhood. But I feel very close to my people back in Taiwan.
David is 22 years of age and still calls Cleveland home.
This is David's very first international competition, and I think he's going to be a name to watch for in the future. And he opens with a nice high double Lutz jump. Nice double axel. Into a triple toe loop and just falls out of it a little bit. I am so impressed by the sophisticated style that David expresses. Some of his beautiful lines remind me a lot of John Curry, and that's quite a compliment. Triple Salchow into a double toe loop. Look at that forward outside edge on this camel spin. It gives a beautiful line, and he butterflies right into a back sit spin.
You know, I've often wondered about the rule that allows a skater who perhaps grew up in one country to go back and represent another. Is it fair to the skaters in Taiwan to allow a David Liu to go back there and perhaps take a spot away from someone who has been raised in Taiwan and perhaps was looking at a shot on that Taiwanese Olympic team?
Well, I think it's certainly fair to give a skater like David an opportunity to be seen internationally. And if he was competing in the U.S., and that was his triple flip jump, he's just not solid on his landings today. I think he must be very excited to be making his first international appearance. But the quality is really all there. Look at the beautiful line in this outside and now inside spread eagle. And another gorgeous high double axel. You know, another interesting note, David is trained by Carol Heiss, who is American and Olympic champion in the 1960 Olympics. When she goes to Calgary this year with David, it will be her first involvement in the Olympic Games since she won. Triple loop jump. David's program that we're seeing here today was choreographed by Glenn Watts, who is a former British ice dance champion. We're seeing a lot of energy and stamina here at the very end of his program. Triple toe, once again, just off balance, leaning forward too much on the landing. Triple sow, he is a fighter. He's not giving up on anything. He's going for it.
A good performance by David Liu.
Now let's watch as he executes this triple sow-cow. Watch that inside takeoff edge. 1, 2, 3 revolutions, landing on a back outside edge. And right into a double toe loop. 1, 2 revolutions.
And how about the degree of difficulty or technical merit?
He had a very difficult program. He just didn't really nail clean landings on those jumps.
And his marks for artistic impression? Certainly in line with the technical difficulty scoring. And if nothing else, they'll give David some sort of a barometer of what he can expect as Calgary looms ahead, less than 2 months away. JoJo now standing by with David and Carol Heiss.
Does it feel any different competing as a national champion from Chinese Taipei as it did when you competed in the U.S. Nationals as just another American skater?
Yes, there is a difference because you want to please the people of your country that you're representing. And so there's a little more responsibility there. But, hey, you know, you always want to do your best at competition, no matter who it's for.
The eyes of the figure skating community are here. Horatory Ice Rink for the Revlon NHK Figure Skating Championship. And on the ice, South Korea's Sang-il Jung from Seoul, Korea.
You know, Phil, in single skating, as opposed to dance or pairs, it's so much more difficult to create a dynamic mood and be commanding when you're completely alone out there.
That's a good point, JoJo. You don't have that other body with which to relate to. It's really you and perhaps the audience, and that's it.
Nice triple flip jump. Russian split flip into a double axel jump.
Jojo, how do routines evolve? I assume most are through very careful coordination of movement, but do they ever come about by accident?
Well, sometimes they do, but I think often a skater will pick the music that they can really relate to and get excited about. Then they pick their most difficult elements, and they'll probably want to get them out of the way right at the top of the number. And then they'll pick something wonderful and flashy to finish with. And everything else sort of falls into place if you're working with a good choreographer or if you have a natural feel for music. Triple loop jump, very well done. This piece of music, Malagueña, is probably one of the most popular pieces of skating music. I think it must be the intensity of that Latin beat. Triple Lutz jump, really well done. Getting back to the music, you know, when it is so intense and driving, it forces you, it gives you energy. Russian split jump. Russian split jump. And there's that flamboyant butterfly move.
Sang-il-jung from Seoul, South Korea. And his marks, very impressive for a young man who is competing at the senior level for the first time in 1987.
You know, I wondered just how much time Phil spent preparing his costume for here in Kushiro. 10 minutes? Maybe 15? Well, for the competitors, their coaches, and parents, they spend weeks, maybe even months, designing just the right costume for each phase of this competition. Costumes, for the most part, are a reflection of the skaters themselves, an extension of their own personality. But they can also serve an opposite purpose, an escape mechanism, transforming the skater into an alter ego.
Costuming is very important to the skater because there's a balance between being overdone in terms of beating and then being underdone in terms of being dull. What you want to do is you want to have a color that goes with the performance and with the music, well chosen, and then a style that accentuates the body and that shows off your line.
The costumes we have do cost a lot of money, which people don't seem to the money they cost. I mean, you only get like 4 or 5 times wear out in competition throughout the year. So, but the glamour on the ice, I think that's very important.
So costumes are another important ingredient in the complete packaging of a world-class skater.
Well, Jojo, when we return to Horitori Ice Rink, we will see the high-flying exploits of Japan's own Makoto Kano. It is the high-flying Makoto Kano of Japan. And when I say high-flying, Jojo, he probably gets higher, and he is faster than any skater to ever come out of Japan.
Well, he certainly has some awesome jumps lined up for us today, and if he is on, we're in for a treat. He opens with an incredibly beautiful triple axel jump. That's got to make him happy for the rest of the number. And now, triple Lutz jump, very clean. Kano was second in this championships last year. Triple flip, double toe loop combination.
This is the 9th Revlon NHK Championship, JoJo, and this man right here, Japan's Makoto Kano, has skated in 5 of the 9.
That's right, and I'm sure that in front of his home crowd, he would very much like to overcome Paul Wylie and take home a gold medal. Triple loops jump, just over-rotated a bit. Nice fast spins. Into a double salchow. Well, his forte is really his jumping technique. I don't think he can come close to the 2 American men as far as personality and charisma and the overall impression of the free skating program. This level of skating, you've got to just really have it all. The technique, the personality, you've got to put the whole package together in every way. Triple salchow. It almost seems effortless to watch that, but if you knew the thousands of hours of practice and falls that goes into a triple jump like that. Remember, this is the tough part of the program at the very end when stamina is starting to fail you.
Well, particularly as cold as it is here inside Horatori Ice Rink.
A bit weak. He had a brilliant start to this program, but I think he's running out of steam here.
From Osaka, Japan, 21-year-old Makoto Kano. And JoJo, you are right. He is indeed out of steam.
And now let's watch that triple axel. Watch the incredible height. 1, 2, 3.5 revolutions and a wonderful clean landing.
And his scores for technical merit are impressive.
And deservedly so, Phil. He really had an action-packed program. Very strong in the jumping.
And for artistic impression, or how well did he skate his routine, the marks consistent with his technical merit figures. Ready, the men's singles. Right now it belongs to Japan's Makoto Kano. But the favorite, America's Paul Wylie, is set to go. Is it a job? Make no mistake about it, it is pressure.
This is a competition, this is a job, and I'm going to do my task as almost like a warrior instinct. You should take not yourself seriously, but you should take your work seriously, and I really believe that.
23-year-old Paul Wylie of Denver, Colorado, begins his free skating routine with music from the natural.
We talked earlier, Phil, about having it all. Paul Wylie has brilliant technique, exquisite style, and can really be very charismatic with an audience. And he opens with a triple flip jump right on the money. And triple axel, and just over-rotates a bit out of it. Up for the triple let's jump. Really well done. Here we have a setup for a triple toe Wylie, and he just leans forward too much on the landing. You know, Phil, I think being first after the short program, going into this long, puts a lot of pressure on Paul. He really wants to keep his pace up because he did a brilliant short. That does add pressure. It's hard to live up under that. Now, you'll watch his great personality come out here. Very light-hearted footwork. Sets up for his triple sow-cow jump. Oh, that has to hurt. He just wasn't high enough to check out in time to land.
How much does that take out of you, JoJo, when you've got your program rolling and you crash to the ice like that? Is it hard to recover?
It takes a lot out of your pride, and that had to hurt him physically a little bit. But you can't entertain thoughts of that. You have to move on and convince the audience and the judges that everything's fine and make them forget it with the brilliance of the rest of the program.
Well, this is such an important competition for virtually everyone who is here from the United States, because our own country's nationals begin January 4th in Paul's hometown of Denver, and they also desperately want to skate well here for no other reason than to get their own psyches ready for those nationals.
That's right. And watch him here as he prepares for this triple toe loop, double toe loop combination. Very well done. In Colorado, where Paul is from, he was on the dean's list in college, and now he is a Harvard student. Beautiful spread eagles. It's got such wonderful fluidity of style. And he hits a triple Lutz jump. He looks like he has got energy to spare here at the end of his program in Kushiro. Now watch the height he'll get on this Russian split jump and another Russian split flip combination. Oh, and he finishes with an over-rotated double axel jump.
From Denver, Colorado, America's Paul Wylie. There's a young man who takes great pride in everything he accomplishes on that sheet of ice.
And let's watch this high double axel jump. Just over-rotates it a bit there. Can't quite check hard enough to come out on that landing strongly.
His marks for technical merit, that will put him at this point in contention for a gold medal. And how well did he skate his routine? And the marks, there's a 5.8.
And that 5.2, I believe, is way out of line for artistic impression for Paul.
I certainly agree with you, JoJo. All in all, a good performance for Paul Wylie. JoJo is standing by with him.
How did the pressure of being #1 after the short program affect the long program?
I think, I knew that I wanted to skate my best, so it's always the same deal. But I felt really kind of cold out there and a bit dizzy. And we hadn't run through our program, so it was like more the pressure of those three elements in it.
What do you think happened on the triple axel? You really went for everything.
Yeah, I felt like the triple axel, I didn't have a real solid landing on it. I didn't get my blade and bite into the ice.
Paul talked about the cold. It's 20 degrees in here. And Eddie has even brought out the scarf and cap on the stuffed animals here in Kushiro. Christopher Bowman still to skate. Fellow countryman Paul Wylie is in first place, followed by Makoto Kano and Sung-il Jung of South Korea. From the Soviet Union, he is in 4th place after the short program. Here is Dmitry Gromov. Gromov skating to the very popular Starlight Express.
And he opens with a gorgeous triple flip. Dmitry is very new to the international skating scene, so we're not really very familiar with him. And there's a triple Lutz jump, which he landed with a tremendous lean forward.
JoJo, where do the skaters practice these incredible jumps? Are there other places other than the hard surface of a sheet of ice?
Well, some skaters work on the floor, some work with trampolines, but most of the work is done on the ice. Hour after hour, day after day, perfecting these triples. It's a very dangerous task. And there is a triple toe loop combination into a double axel. That was a very off-balance takeoff on his double axel jump. And his over-rotated, off-balance triple loop jump. You know, I have to say once again, relating to something we already said earlier, the concentration and focus of these men on the triple jumps is so intense. It's very difficult for them, unless they're very mature, polished performers like Bowman or Wylie, to have flair and polish in between on the other parts of their skating. It gets neglected because of the focus on the triples.
And now Brian Boitano of the United States, who is not here in Kushiro participating, is trying to carry that triple to yet another level. Brian has been working for the past year on a quadruple jump.
That's right. He is one of the most brilliant technicians in the world. The most brilliant, in my opinion. Off balance again on that triple Salchow. He just doesn't check out hard enough and fight for the landing quite enough. that none of the single skaters had to do compulsory school figures. It's strictly a freestyle competition.
From the Soviet Union, young Dmitry Gromov.
And once again, let's look at this triple flip jump. He pole vaults in, does a very high 1, 2, 3 revolutions. One of the nicest triples he performed here today.
And look at the disparity of marks, JoJo, from 5 threes all the way down to 4 6.
That is low. He attempted a lot of difficult things, but he didn't strongly complete many of them.
And it's the judge from Australia, Shirley Taylor, who has given Dmitry Gromov the low marks not only in technical merit, but also in artistic impression. Now, don't you dare, because Paul Wylie is leading that chase, followed by Japan's Makoto Kano and South Korea's Jung-il Young. But those in attendance have not seen the favorite, America's Christopher Bowman, who took 7th in this year's Worlds and said that experience has certainly increased his stock.
After the Worlds, I did feel that people reacted a lot differently towards me because I was more recognized from the World Championships and more recognized internationally. And I feel that that was really quite a benefit for me in the stepping stone of my career, working up to the top level in the world, because basically the pressure really isn't on me. It's on the top people in the world, the Boitanos, the Orsers, the Fadeyevs, and not the people who are kind of up and coming in the ranks in a national championship and on the world or Olympic level.
20-year-old Christopher Bowman of Los Angeles, California. And he'll need a near-perfect routine here to capture a gold medal in Kushiro after a disappointing third-place finish following his short program.
In the short program, he missed his jump combination, and that was disappointing. However, his coach, Frank Carroll, has brilliantly choreographed this long program we're about to see. And Christopher certainly has packaging down when it equals technique, style, personality, and ability to handle pressure. He has just come here from winning a major event half a world away in Germany just a few days ago. And he opens with a brilliant triple flip, triple toe loop combination. Right on the nail. You know, that's the jump that eluded him in the short program. Nice triple loop jump. Is really on today. I notice he's pacing himself very carefully. And beautiful triple Salchow. And a very high double axel jump. You know, he is showing great stamina because on top of the fact that he traveled halfway around the world to get here, he is suffering from the flu. He's been suffering from the flu for several days now. So getting through this 4.5-minute triple jump packed program is not easy.
Not only did Christopher come from half a world away to be here in Kushiro, his mother has accompanied him. The difference is Christopher's out here in the arena, his mom is not.
Well, Mrs. Bowman can never have the nerve to watch Christopher perform. She buries her eyes in her hands, even in the rehearsals, and currently she's backstage. She doesn't have the strength or the nerve to watch this performance. It's a shame, isn't it? Phil, I think that's because only a mom really knows all the effort, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into the preparation of a career that is evolving so beautifully as Christopher's. That was a gorgeous spin combination.
Well, certainly from what we have seen thus far today and Christopher's performance earlier this year at the Worlds, he may very well be on the threshold of becoming the next Brian Boitano or Scott Hamilton. Perhaps, JoJo, the only thing separating Christopher from those others at this point is the experience needed to gain that international confidence.
And that's just what he's getting here today. Another triple Salchow double toe loop combination. And a very high double axel. He is really well trained stamina-wise.
Oh.
Triple toe loop, double toe loop combination. That's a credit to both he and his coach, Frank Carroll.
They'll find a hold on that performance from the United States, Christopher Bowman.
That was a flawless performance. You know, Phil, he doesn't just skate his routine. He has a way of charming the audience right onto the ice with him. And let's watch him in this triple flip, pole vault with the tap of the foot. 1, 2, 3. Look at the height. And on the landing, he'll pole vault himself again right up into this triple toe loop. One of the most difficult combinations. And look at those marks.
The highest we have seen in this competition. And Christopher Bowman is very, very happy, as that has put him atop the hunt for the gold medal here at the NHK Championship.
And high marks also for artistic impression, and certainly deservedly so, especially that 5.9.
A near flawless performance, and JoJo has Christopher Bowman. JoJo?
Christopher, you are amazing. You've been all over the world in the past few days, it seems.
Yeah.
You came in here from a tough travel schedule. You came down with the flu. It was tough for you to even get through the practice sessions, and you go out and do a flawless, brilliant performance. How do you do it?
Oh, mental. It's all mental. After a while, you just pull your mental strength together. You know, when you don't have that mental strength to back you up, the physical strength, excuse me, to back you up. And basically what it boils down to is just going out there and technically doing the best job you can, not, you know, trying to overpower your physical, you know, ability.
How in the world can he be pouring sweat when it's 20 degrees here in Kushiro? We'll be back with more in a moment. Spots in men's singles, Christopher Bowman and Paul Wylie. As we told you at the outset of our show, we felt the American men might dominate here in Kushiro, and JoJo, they did just that.
They certainly did. Christopher and Paul were both brilliant, and I think this will give them a lot of confidence, and it's a great learning experience. Remember, they're going home now to our U.S. Nationals to qualify for the Olympic team. They haven't made it yet.
Now, perhaps the only guy who really, I guess you would say, is the shoe-in would be Brian Boitano. Christopher Bowman and Paul Wylie have to be the other two who could fill spots 2 and 3 as America prepares to head north and the Calgary Olympics of 1988. For JoJo Starbuck, I'm Phil Stone. Thanks for joining us for this, the 9th Annual Revlon NHK Figure Skating Championships. Goodbye from Kushiro, Japan. These championships were brought to you by Revlon. The most unforgettable women in the world wear Revlon.